A plane crash in Louisville, more on the National Guard hearing in Memphis, and the Clarksville City Council's decision on oral drug testing for the police.
We will have all that and more on this episode of APSU TV News.
Welcome back to your APSU TV News. I'm Caleb Scott.
And I'm Jazmin Logan. The death toll following the horrific UPS cargo plane crash in Louisville, Kentucky remains at 12 Thursday morning, but officials have warned that the number could rise as the investigation widens. The National Transportation Safety Board's investigators remain busy on the scene and have recovered the plane's black boxes.
The debris field is a half-mile long, a line of scorched earth now running through local businesses that stood near Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
The impact and intensity of the wreckage, of the charred wreckage, is unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Graphic video shows the moment the MD-11 transport aircraft operated by UPS erupted into flames shortly after takeoff around the airport, leaving multiple people dead, likely including the 3 crew members who were on the flight, according to the mayor. Videos from the scene show flames in an auto recycling yard and semi-truck lot in an industrial area nearby.
And right when she was FaceTiming me, a massive explosion occurred, and she said to me, the scrap office blew up. And it was like hell's fury. I mean, it was indescribable, people screaming, people running, people trying to help each other.
Investigators for the National Transportation Safety Board said the plane's black boxes have been recovered and will be taken back to Washington, D.C.
We feel comfortable once we get these to our lab in D.C. that we will be able to get a good readout of the applicable data, and that will be yet another point of information that will really help us understand what happened during this point of flight.
In Louisville, I'm Lee Waldman.
Courts in Tennessee and West Virginia are reviewing whether their governors had the authority to deploy National Guard troops as part of President Donald Trump's crime-fighting push in major cities. A Davidson County judge heard arguments in a Nashville courtroom over Governor Bill Lee's decision to send the Guard to patrol Memphis neighborhoods. The lawsuit claims the move violates state law because there was no local request for help. State attorneys argue the governor has full discretion to deploy the Guard when needed. About 150 Guard members have been supporting law enforcement in Memphis since last month. A West Virginia judge heard similar arguments over that state's Guard deployment to Washington, D.C. Both judges have delayed rulings, and the hearings will continue later this month.
City Council members have reviewed a plan to equip the Clarksville Police Department with new oral fluid drug testing devices funded through a state highway safety grant. The handheld devices allow officers to test a driver's saliva for substances like amphetamines, oxycodone, opiates, and methamphetamine. Police Chief Charles Burdine says the equipment will be used only after establishing probable cause. Burdine explains the results would need to be confirmed by the state lab. Council members Carrie Lovato and Stacy Streetman praised the technology as a step forward towards a safer and fairer enforcement. However, Wanda Smith raised concerns about drivers with prescription medicines, urging caution to prevent wrongful arrests. The proposal has been approved. A woman is accused of hitting a police officer with her car and biting another during the Clarksville Half Marathon on Saturday. Police say it all happened when Sergeant Joel Gibbs was directing traffic for the runners at University Ave and Franklin Street. Investigators say 22-year-old Zoe Gaines ignored directions, hit the gas pedal, and struck Gibbs. Officers say Gibbs landed on the hood of her car before she attempted to leave the scene. Gaines tried to run away but was eventually caught. She's accused of resisting arrest and biting another officer on the finger. Gaines was taken to the Montgomery County Jail and charged with aggravated assault on a first responder, evading arrest in a vehicle, and 2 counts of resisting arrest. Both officers were treated on scene and expected to be okay.
A felony charge has been dropped against a man who spent more than a month in jail over a Facebook post about the assassination of podcaster Charlie Kirk. 61-year-old Larry Bouchard was arrested in Perry County and charged with threatening mass violence at a school after sharing a meme quoting President Donald Trump saying, quote, "We have to get over it," end quote. The post referenced a school shooting in Iowa, but local residents thought it targeted their own high school. Sheriff Nick Weems said Bouchard's post caused fear in the community, though he admitted it wasn't a direct threat. Free speech advocates argue Bouchard was being punished for his political views. Prosecutors dismissed the charge this week, leading to Bouchard's release after 5 weeks behind bars.
Clarksville's food pantries are feeling the strain as the ongoing government shutdown and delays in SNAP benefits push more and more families to seek food and financial aid. As the holiday season gets closer, organizations like Loaves and Fishes and the Salvation Army report a sharp increase in demand from working parents, veterans, and seniors. Loaves and Fishes Administrative Assistant Nikki Baxter stating their shelves are the lowest they've been all year, with demand nearly doubling overnight. Several nonprofits are urging residents to donate non-perishable foods or contribute financially to help replenish supplies. YAPAC's Debbie Fields have been encouraging the community to help however they can, whether by donating, volunteering, or simply buying an extra can for a neighbor in need. If you need help, you can visit our campus SOS Food Pantry. Stay tuned for the political corner right after this break.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Welcome back to the Political Corner. I'm Alexis Hill. President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs seem to be shaking on legal ground. Supreme Court Justice met this week and indicated Trump might not have the authority to impose tariffs under a law designed for use during a national emergency. A new poll on NBC News found that 63% of registered voters think Trump is failing to live up to expectations. Other recent polls show a majority of Americans oppose tariffs, which put a large burden on small business owners. The Constitution states the power to set tariffs is assigned to Congress. The justices are looking at whether the 1977 law called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA, is being used correctly. The law allows the president to regulate imports when there is an emergency and gives the president power to impose global tariffs for an unexpected amount of time. Until Trump, no president had ever used the law to impose tariffs on imports. Some of the lower courts ruled against Trump's administration, with both sides asking the Supreme Court to issue a definitive ruling. Chief Justice John Roberts, one of the court's conservatives, said that, quote, the imposition of taxes on Americans has always been the core power of Congress, a fact that had been echoed by other justices in their questioning, end quote. Election day 2025 may not have had President Trump on the ballot, but his influence is still shaping races across the country, from governor's races in Virginia to New Jersey, the local contests in New York City, and high-stakes congressional vote in California. Candidates are trying themselves for distancing themselves from the former president to win over votes. Karen Kaffas in Washington with a look at Tuesday's key votes.
Governor's races in Virginia and New Jersey, the mayor's race in New York City, and a California vote that will tee up next year's high-stakes congressional elections headline Election Day 2025. With a large population of federal workers impacted by the Trump administration's downsizing of the government workforce and the current shutdown, Democratic Virginia candidate for governor and former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger has tied Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears to President Donald Trump and his policies to try to boost her campaign. In New Jersey, Republican gubernatorial candidate Jack Ciattarelli, who was endorsed by Trump, has framed himself as a Jersey guy while trying to cast his opponent, Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, who moved to the Garden State after her Navy career, as an outsider. And in New York City, Trump urged voters to support former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo over Democratic nominee Zoran Mamdani. Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, has zeroed in on the cost of living in the city, which has resonated especially with young and social media savvy voters. Cuomo, who lost to Mamdani in the Democratic primary and is running as an independent, has argued Mamdani, a 34-year-old state assemblyman, is too inexperienced. And in California, voters are considering a plan backed by Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom to reshape the state's congressional map to improve Democrats' chances of winning 5 GOP-held seats in next year's midterms. It's designed to counter a plan signed into law by Texas Governor Greg Abbott that aims to help Republicans win 5 House seats there. Of course, those 2026 midterm elections are still a full year away, but both parties will be looking for insights into how to turn out voters in their favor when control of Congress is up for grabs next November. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
This morning, travelers are facing widespread flight cancellations as the government shutdown and staffing shortages disrupt air travel across the country. Airlines have been canceling flights after the Trump administration said it would cut air traffic at 40 airports until a deal is reached at the end of the shutdown. Ivan Rodriguez reports from Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport.
Today, airlines cut 4% of flights at 40 of the country's top and most popular airports. Each day the shutdown continues, that number will increase by 1% until we get to 10% by next week.
Traffic is busy this morning, and then when I arrived here, it's like a normal situation here. I don't feel anything bad yet.
Frustrated and anxious travelers hoping for the best as new restrictions kick in. The FAA gradually cutting air traffic at 40 airports nationwide until the government shutdown ends.
They need to figure their stuff out. They need to figure their stuff out.
An initial 4% reduction in domestic flights is in effect, and more than 800 flights have been canceled alone today, 4 times the total number of U.S. cancellations a day earlier, according to FlightAware. Many airlines are allowing passengers to change their tickets without fees, but some travelers don't have faith those flights will run either and are making alternate plans.
We stayed at a hotel last night that was, $150 out of pocket. Now we're going to be another, couple $100 out of pocket, taking a rental car, driving it down.
But it's better than waiting.
It's a 9-hour drive down to Wilmington.
Meanwhile, the Air Traffic Controllers Union says the industry is facing possible mass resignations as workers remain unpaid during the shutdown, putting extra strain on an already stressed system. And Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the reduction in flights comes down to safety.
It is not a science, it is an art that we're trying to deploy to keep people safe in the airspace. And we're trying to prevent the pressure that we now see building in the system.
In the middle of hundreds of canceled flights, Hertz is actually seeing an uptick now in car rentals. Over the past 2 days, a spokesperson with Hertz says that reservations for one-way rentals through this weekend has spiked 20% year over year, and also reservations for tomorrow are seeing an uptick. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
One day after a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to pay the full SNAP benefits for November, the administration is asking for a pause of that order. An emergency request was filed Friday morning to the First Circuit Court of Appeals. The administration said a U.S. District Court judge in Rhode Island on Thursday overstepped his authority to order that the USDA found more money to pay out the full SNAP benefits to states. The judge said that had to be done by Friday. In response to a previous court order, the Trump administration earlier this week announced that would partially refund food benefits program. Nearly 42 million Americans receive food stamps. That's all for the Political Corner. We'll be back with the weather right after this.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey Malachi, how's your week been?
My week's been pretty good. I just got my hair done this morning, so the rest of my week is gonna be great. How's yours?
Also pretty good. I'm excited going into Veterans Day weekend.
That's good.
We're gonna be off on Tuesday, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully the weather is gonna be looking good though too.
Yes, I'm really optimistic. But yes, we're gonna go into our weekly weather report right after this, so yes. Okay. So as you can see, this is our national forecast. As you can see, the cold weather is up there in New York. It's 58 degrees. And then as you can see, the Midwest is gonna stick around the mid-60s. And then as you can see, Atlanta is 75 degrees as well, while Los Angeles is the same as well. So in the mid-70s as well. So warm weather is more south. And as you're gonna make your commute to class today, you're gonna notice there's gonna be a couple of showers. So I advise you bring a rain jacket or something to protect you from this cold weather. And also the wind is gonna be picking up as well with 13 miles per hour with the gusts reaching around 20 miles per hour. So I would definitely say that make sure not to blow away. And then as you're gonna make our way to the night, clear skies is gonna be rolling through. That means cold weather is gonna be coming as well. It's gonna be dropping down to the low 50s with the winds cooling down, slowing down as well. So it'll be 77 miles per hour. So yeah, I would just advise bring a jacket as well. And then this will be our weekly forecast. As you can see, Friday today's high is gonna be 60. Saturday and Sunday is gonna be sunny. You know, the rain is not gonna be here no more, so it's gonna be feeling pretty good. And then Monday and Tuesday is gonna be cold as well. Cold weather's gonna be moving through. The lows is gonna be around mid-20s. And that will be it today. My name is Malachi Gibbs. Thank you for sticking with us, and we're gonna be moving to our sports section.
From the start of an Austin Peay student's journey, they expect more. They expect to gain real-world experiences to set them apart. They expect to pull their knowledge out of the classroom and into the field. So we give it to them. We give them the opportunity to learn the latest farming methods with professional farm equipment. They need to see how to use what they learn. So when our graduates look back, they'll see it all starts at Austin Peay.
Hello, I'm Hugh Wheeler. Here is this week's news in Clarksville sports. The Governors welcome the Central Arkansas Bears to Stashville tomorrow after losing at Southern Utah last week 17-33. Austin Peay has now lost 4 straight road games this season. APSU has fallen to 5th place in the United Athletic Conference standings, while Central Arkansas sits in 7th place with just 3 wins on the year. Austin Peay kicks off at 3 in the afternoon tomorrow. Meanwhile, on the basketball court, APSU had a record-breaking night to open the season. The women's team began the doubleheader against Sewanee and won 115-46. Austin Peay's point total was one short of the all-time best mark set in 1979. The team did break the field goal single game record with 48. The men's team also broke records Monday night in a date with Bryan College out of Dayton, Tennessee. The Governors scored 128 points for the first time since January 4th of 1973, while only giving up 47. The 81-point difference is the best in school history. Austin Peay also set record game highs with 36 forced turnovers, 24 steals, 33 assists, and 23 pointers. APSU men's basketball travels to Colorado Springs to take on the Air Force Falcons tomorrow, while the women's team hosts Vanderbilt at F&M Bank Arena Wednesday at 6 in the evening. Now, just 4 days after Austin Peay's basketball home opener comes the final two home games for Governors volleyball. APSU lost at Eastern Kentucky last Saturday 1-2-3 and fell 3 games back from the final spot in the Atlantic Sun playoffs. Austin Peay has 4 games remaining. Stashville takes on Central Arkansas tonight at 6 in the afternoon and North Alabama on Senior Day tomorrow at 7 in the evening. Meanwhile, on the ice, Clarksville's Red River Spartans won all 4 games in Fort Wayne, Indiana last weekend behind 18 goals from the offense. The Spartans will have 20 days off in a row before their next road trip to Mount Clemens, Michigan for another 4 games in 3 days. The Spartans rest, but Governors Hockey Club will return to action next weekend for 2 games at the Ford Ice Center against High Point University. More fall seasons conclude as women's tennis gears up for their final tournament of the season with the International Tennis Federation's W15 Clemson tournament in South Carolina starting Monday. And finally, high school football playoffs have arrived. Let's take a look at what our local teams are up against on their quest for the state title. In the 6A division, Region 5 champion Clarksville hosts Independence here in town, and Rossview travels south to Brentwood to open the postseason campaign. Over in the 5A division, Kirkwood welcomes Brighton into town, and Kenwood travels to Munford for their first postseason berth since 2021. All games kick off tonight at 7. That's all for sports. I'm Hugh Wheeler. We'll be back with more news after these messages.
Great having you. Incredible women. I wish they had those kind of cool careers for women when we were growing up.
So in this flashback, we're all the same age?
Yeah. What does everyone want to be when they grow up?
If I say 2 jobs, do I get extra credit?
No.
I want to make immersive video games. I want to revolutionize 3D printing. I want to analyze data from the cloud.
I want to be a meteor.
You mean meteorologist?
No.
That's great, Al. Follow your dreams.
For the record, I was a baby in the 70s.
Everyday life is full of stories that inspire, entertain, and connect us. Let's take a closer look at the people, trends, and moments that bring color to our world. You have a new place to shop for groceries now. That Clarksville's 4th and largest Kroger store is open. The grand opening was Wednesday at the new 123,000 square foot Kroger Marketplace on Needmore Road. This is a new installment since Kroger came to Clarksville in 1946. And the celebration featured the Northwest High School Band, Tennessee Titans cheerleaders, mascots, and giveaways, including free breakfast bundles for the first 100 shoppers and raffles for a year of free groceries. The new store includes expanded sections for clothing, home goods, and appliances, along with a Starbucks, Murray's Cheese Counter, and a fuel center. An Austin Peay State University professor is honoring his late grandson by establishing an endowment which will fund agriculture scholarships. Dr. Edward W. Chester, Professor Emeritus of Biology, has established the Senior Airman Gage Dean Chester Agriculture Endowment in memory of his grandson, Senior Airman Gage Dean Chester. Gage died in July at age 23 while servicing in the U.S. Air Force. The endowment will fund 2 annual scholarships beginning in fall 2026 for students in the Department of Agriculture who maintain a 2.85 GPA or higher. Dr. Chester says his grandson was passionate about serving others. He says these scholarships will help fund students pursue their dreams in agriculture while honoring his memory. Senior Airman Chester was a Rossview High School graduate and former APSU student who served as a health services management technician with the 23rd Healthcare Operations Squadron at Moody Air Force Base, Georgia, and previously at Royal Air Force Lakenheath in England.
Austin Peay State University is getting more national recognition for its excellence in radiologic sciences. The program and its director, Dr. Jennifer Thompson, have both been nominated for 2025 Minis, a nationwide award that honors outstanding achievement in radiology education. APSU is one of only 9 schools in the country nominated for Best Radiologic Sciences program, and Dr. Thompson is one of just 2 educators nationwide to reach the final round. Thompson says the nomination is a meaningful recognition of Austin Peay's commitment to empowering students and strengthening the profession. The Minis have been presented for 28 years, a leading publication in the radiology field. Winners will be announced later this month. A Clarksville family is facing a major financial shock after receiving a water bill nearly 20 times higher than usual. Joshua Cummings says his family has lived in their home for almost 20 years, typically paying around $60 a month to Clarksville Gas and Water. But this month, the bill came in at more than $1,000. Cummings was told it's still their responsibility to pay, even though they don't have any major water usage. The Clarksville Gas and Water manager says these cases usually stem from hidden leaks, and customers can request a free field test. If there's a proven leak, they may qualify for an adjustment. However, the utility only allows 1 billing adjustment a year to encourage customers to fix leaks quickly.
A sneak peek of new character balloons headlining a holiday tradition, and a school mascot gets a new world record for a birthday gift. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
Everyone have a good Halloween? Great! Moving on! Thanksgiving is up next, so no time like the present to start all that holiday hoopla and hullabaloo. What can I say? Americans love a good holiday, and we have such short attention spans we can't even finish, "Hey, cool, Buzz Lightyear!" What was I saying? Oh, right. Macy's lifted the veil on their annual Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon lineup to give a first look at some brand new balloons that will be flying high over one of the Big Apple's biggest celebrations. WCBS reports the preview went down, or should I say up, at the annual Balloon Fest event in New Jersey. Volunteer handlers did a test float of kooky new characters including Mario, Shrek, Buzz Lightyear, and Pac-Man. Speaking of characters, the Ohio State University got right to the point, breaking a pointy hat world record of sorts, and they did it all for their beloved mascot, Brutus Buckeye. For Brutus's birthday, nearly 2,000 people met in a university gym to attempt a world record for the largest gathering of people wearing conical party hats. Oh, it's a record, all right. And according to the Guinness judges that were on hand, it's now OSU's record. The gathered 1,924 hat-wearing students, faculty, and supporters were more than enough to break the previous record held since 2019. Finally, this last one may not be a record, but I'm going to go on the record and say this crazy double lotto winning story is one of the weirdest you may have heard. According to the Ohio Lottery, a Roseville man that had already won $50 on a best-of-7 scratch-off forgot his winning ticket at home when he went to cash it in, so just for kicks, he decided to buy another best-of-7 ticket and ended up winning $500,000 on the spot. 7 is certainly one lucky number for this charmed player, who's now $500,000 plus $50 richer. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
So guys, got any fun plans for the weekend?
Homework, you know how it goes. It's towards the end of the semester, everything's piling up, so yeah, a lot of homework, but you know, probably going to catch the game tomorrow over there. We only got 2 more left before the season's over at home, so that'll be fun, yeah.
Nice.
What about you guys? What are y'all up to?
A couple of RAs. We're celebrating somebody's birthday today. Her name is Katina. Yes, it's her birthday today. She turns 22 years old. So we're just going to go out and celebrate, do a little things, because, you know, we got to keep our image.
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely.
So, yeah,
Happy birthday to Katina. That'll be fun.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at APSU TV Clarksville and Instagram at APSU_TV. Thank you for watching your APSU TV news update. We'll be back next time, and as always, let's go Peay!